Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mining Now. We are filming here again at CIM Vancouver 2024. I'm excited to have Pablo Villar. He is a senior product manager with Orica Digital Solutions, and he is joining us, well, here for Mining Now, of course. And welcome to the show, Pablo. I just
Hi.
wanted to quickly get into your background. So, what's your experience with Orica? How long have you been in the company?
I have more than 12 years with the company.
Okay,
The
excellent.
first 7 as a technical services engineer back in Peru. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
And the last 5 with Orica Digital Solutions, 5 or more. I'm currently based in Curry or Newcastle, Australia.
Okay.
And
How's it over there?
yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the benefit of the location. The weather is pretty good.
Awesome. Did you study mining like in university as well?
Yeah, I'm a mining engineer by trade.
Okay, excellent. That had to help with the role with Orca then.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
So getting into it, maybe what are some like exciting experiences you've had so far in the mining industry?
Um, Being part of the drill and blast process as a tech services engineer with Orica, mainly those all of those years, being able to be part of planning, designing, executing a blast, trying to predict what's going to happen,
Okay.
measure those results, or even seeing the blast happening many times just immediately and being able to see what you just worked for and collaborated with people on and what really happened,
Yeah.
trying to reiterate that process and make the next blast better.
So
Um,
you keep basically bringing in that data from like blast after blast to make
yeah, exactly.
improve on it.
Yeah, and you use the tools that you have available back then, anyways, and just try to make the most out of it. And
Right.
working with the customer, with Orica people at the same time, trying to understand what they're trying to achieve with each blast. Trying to introduce our technology as well within that is pretty good. And
Actually,
yeah.
that's actually a good point. Maybe could you unpack that a little bit more too, just like Orica itself and the Orica Digital Solutions
Mhm.
vertical?
Yeah, well, pretty sure everyone knows Orica
I think
nowadays.
so.
We're
Yeah.
turning 150 years this year, pretty much. The world's largest commercial explosives and modern blasting technologies provider. Um, Orica Digital Solutions started 30 years ago, more or less.
Okay.
We have today more than 200 technologies across the world, delivering products that people value and use every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think as of 2023, we had our customers using more than 200 customers using our technologies across more than 100 countries, which
Wow.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being part of that team is enjoyable. You
Yeah.
get to work with lots of skillful people, experts in their fields, learn from them and share some knowledge with them as well. Yeah, and just being part of crafting that product, working on the very minute details sometimes, and
Right.
to achieve that workflow or make their lives better. So myself 7 years ago, that role in many cases, it's just we're making that person's work a lot easier, better, and more efficient.
And is that going into the BlastIQ? I actually noticed on your LinkedIn, it's on your header there.
Hmm.
What what has that been? How has that helped out? Maybe for people who aren't aware of BlastIQ as well. How is that helping people?
Well, BlastIQ, if we start from the top, BlastIQ offers full control on the drill and blast operations. So
Okay.
our customers are getting visibility, traceability, everything in one place,
Yep.
accessibility to all of that information. Lots of things are automated. Um, that's our customers, our higher uh, tier, let's say, stakeholders of that process. But then, of course, there are benefits for many of the team members, let's say, in the drill and blast teams in our customer sites.
Okay.
Yeah, from the field crew members that are not having to deal with paper anymore.
Right.
There are have assurance that they are acting on the best instruction possible at every hole, at every charge that are put in there, so they're getting clear instructions at every step of the way. On the other side, you have the engineers being able to communicate those instructions instantly, immediately,
Okay.
making changes as well if they need to, modifications to the designs or any decision with real data from the field.
Right.
And what else? My
I,
managers or superintendents get access to all of that information, of course. And lastly, but not least, of course, is safety overall. Improved safety is
right.
um, if if I give you a tool that now gives you visibility to everything that has been done to a blast, to every hole, to every charge,
Mm-hmm.
at every step of the process. Now, of course, people are obliged to do their jobs better, pretty much.
Right.
And if anything happens, of course, you get to investigate.
Yeah, you're seeing that a lot with the technology used in mining, and of course the
Yeah,
drilling and blasting aspect is so huge with
yeah.
it. The so obviously you're already talking about some of that value that the customers are getting. Is there? I would imagine there's with this use of technology, just a time savings, a technology aspect of it. Um, is there other standout values that the customers are getting as well from this now?
I think there are definitely cost savings directly.
Right.
Definitely, I cannot share those numbers or anything
No,
like
no,
that,
no,
but
please don't.
I'm pretty sure the value that people are getting out of their products is way more than what they're paying for. It's just insane. That just the idea of digitizing something, removing hours and hours of people trying to come up with a report or just trying to
Yeah.
collect the data or digitizing that information.
Right.
What they used to do, now they have free time
Mm-hmm.
to do other things that are actually improving the process, not just keeping up with the everyday.
Right.
That's the main thing that we see. And as we are interconnecting or integrating with our own technologies as well and
Mm-hmm.
different parts of the process, it just gets more powerful, exponentially more powerful.
I guess that actually leads into this next question I would have is how does BlastIQ integrate or enable like integration between different technologies in the drilling and blasting process?
Our approach and one of the key benefits that we have is that we're cloud based, and
Right.
that not only means that everyone's getting the latest version of what we have immediately,
Mm-hmm.
but it also means we have APIs that people can integrate with. So not only other technologies,
Yeah.
and examples of that is we have customers integrating, posting drill actual information from the drill systems, from their smart drills into BlastIQ,
Okay.
and that immediately gets that engineer that visibility of, okay, how am I going to design the next step of the process, which might be
And
loading designs or initiation designs.
with those smart drills then, are they because obviously with the different ground and mining, are they basically feeding that back then? So then when the blasting team goes in, they can actually see what's been drilled so they can change it up as needed?
Yeah, exactly. What the BlastIQ, let's say, gives you the position, or well, it's able to show that position, what's been drilled, what length do you have, if anything changed, and meaning those decisions are now, well, the engineers making those decisions of changing something or adding holes or just modifying the next step of the process. But at the same time, that type of integration is happening, and it's enabling the DFO workflows, the
Right.
design for outcome workflows, which are a little bit more advanced in that sense. We're getting measurable drill data into the system, so engineers can see along the hole and what the drill is sensing, pretty much
Yeah.
the hardness of the rock. So the users can, or the engineers in this case, can adjust the type of explosive
Mm-hmm.
that they need to use in every hole,
Right.
not just a traditional, this is the powder factor that I need in this blast, but
Yeah.
actually per hole, even along the hole, many cases,
Okay.
what do I need to put, where do I need to place that energy to get the best outcome possible?
So it's like custom for each. It can be custom for each hole
Yeah,
that you need.
exactly. And that's happening. One thing to mention, of course, is that we talk about technology all of the time, but
Yes.
we are definitely focused on workflows. So applying that technology to people's everyday life
Right.
and really making that true. That means we need certain readiness of the data. So if the data comes in half an hour later, in many cases, it's like, well, that's already post the fact that it's already too late.
Yes.
But we're making sure enabling those workflows timely manner so people can make those decisions and really make that impact in the next step of the process.
Do you see the BlastIQ providing insights or like having impacts downstream as well?
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that we're seeing now is the impact on fragmentation, and then next, thanks to technologies that we also have.
Yeah.
Well, our purpose in general as Orica Digital Solutions is to connect our customers' physical and digital worlds so they can have that visibility and control over their processes at every step of the way, from exploration to processing,
Okay.
which touches on your point. So if you take all of the BlastIQ data and then you add measurements like what we do with FragTrack, so fragmentation measurements of those blast designs or the actual blast that happened,
Yeah.
and then take that as well into the processing plant, we can actually calculate and optimize the blasting now based on what the plant needs and
Oh,
its
okay.
capability. And that is,
Right.
as I said before, the more you cover the process from end to end, which is our vision anyways, the impact is a lot greater now. So you're tweaking one end, little dial here on this end, and then something massive is happening on the plant, for example, and those could mean well, quite a few bucks, if you may say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you can optimize those blasts. So if you're taking that ore back, you can get the exact
yeah,
amount needed or close to it.
yeah, exactly.
You mentioned FragTrack. That's another product. Is that built within BlastIQ as well?
Yeah, well, we are integrating with FracTrack. Technically, this is part of the measurements.
Mm.
So post blast, um, when we have FracTrack installed in shovels or front end loaders, of course, this is directly related to, hey, this is the fragmentation that the blast is giving me here in the post
Okay.
blast placement. Um, and that should and it is feeding back to the decisions that the engineer is making into that next blast design. If they know certain fragmentation wasn't as optimal as they wanted to, for example,
Mm-hmm.
either to fine or to coarse in certain area, they know the material type there. They can see that immediately from the FracTrack units measuring their fragmentation there. Now they can come back to the next blast in that same type of material and tweak some things to make that next blast better. Measure again, reiterate. It's the classic continuous improvement process, but just make
Right.
it made easier and faster, I guess.
I guess like with all, not with all, but a lot of technology, is there more and more innovations happening with the BlastIQ platform now too as well?
Yeah, we've covered lots of ground on automated reporting. We want to push those boundaries, and as we integrate with other technologies, of course, where those problems or improvements are enabled automatically,
Mm-hmm.
potentially. So imagine you are an engineer and you're you have the data, you have the visibility of where things might have been uh, done or the outcome might not be ideal. But first of all, you're trying to identify that and then trying to identify why that happened.
Okay.
Well, we want to take that to automate that further. So imagine you just say, "Hey, computer or system, tell me what wasn't that ideal and what could be the
Okay.
root cause of the problem," and we can use all of that information to again save that time to that person and actually act on the suggestions or the addressing the root cause of the problem in the first place. Yeah.
So that's a lot of it looks like there's a lot of innovation happening around the BlastIQ. Is there even like additional areas as well that you're
Yeah.
seeing this happen?
Yeah. Well, there's two aspects of what we've recently been working on. Is we just got the ISO 27001 certification, so that
Okay.
that just shows our commitment to secure data and secure development
Oh,
practices.
fantastic. Yeah.
And also, we have developed a way to manage big data spatially and in time. That's, of course, something that we have done, but we are working on releasing that as a product in the next generation, and that's
Okay.
something very exciting as well.
Okay, excellent. So that kind of leads into, where are you seeing this heading? Like, where's it going next?
So we're taking BlastIQ idea to underground and the quarry markets, and specifically for underground, we're taking lots of our learnings in the open cut product and applying the same to underground. Of course, we know the challenges and the differences between both, but the same idea, the same concept of trying to connect those physical and digital worlds applies. The benefits are even greater in underground. You might say, enabling that communication between the engineers and the field crew members, enabling those decisions, that data flowed immediately back to the engineer to enable those decisions, make the blast better, traceability across the board. Yeah, it's quite exciting. And um, the next gen products in the time and space that I mentioned before, that's
Yep.
definitely the next step. Is I think is going to be a massive breakthrough, and we're pretty excited about that.
That's I mean, the difference between like open pit and underground, of course, is huge. So that's it. I probably, like, with this technology though, the blasting's probably going to be able to be used much more effectively with the
Yeah.
improved tech underground.
Yes. Digitization first, and then if you look at the different technologies that we have as well across digital solutions, talking about drill actuals before and how can that inform loading designs and to get better outcome. There's also lots of opportunity there for us to introduce technology, and at the end of the day, not only having our customers using our technology, but making them, sorry, uh, making them find the value in them. That's
Right.
quite important for us.
And I guess in the that would lead me into you want to talk about advanced vibration management as well.
Yeah.
What is that, and how does that relate to the? I mean, obviously vibration with blasting, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But how does that management work?
Vibration and blasting, it's a not couple, I want to say. There's always a balance, there's always a compromise whenever we have customers, and whenever you have a site where there is that constraint, and most of them they do. The constraints of we cannot exceed certain vibrations on certain structures or certain points of interest. Well, advanced vibration management is a system that we designed and developed so to help our customers manage that, and be able to push the boundaries on those designs and still meet the vibration constraints with a high degree of confidence. So traditionally, you might want to model your blasts and measure your results and come up with a law around this is how many holes we can blast in a
Okay.
blast, for example, or how much explosive we can use or energy across the blast. This is our constraint.
Right.
Even the diameter of the holes, and it's just a one-to-one relationship around this one blast created this vibration, whilst AVM not only helps and uses cloud computing, of course, to make those workflows even more efficient, but we're applying a statistical approach to this, and we're taking seed waveforms and for one hole, creating a cyclo based on those seed waveforms and using those to model what a blast could look like. So you can model multiple blasts very fast and multiple scenarios within those blasts very quickly, and understand what actually is making an impact on that vibration result. So if you might change the timing, or you might change the loading design, or even the drilling, everything, even before a drill blast hole was a blast hole has been drilled. So enabling that engineer in this case to push those designs out of the field with the confidence, okay, we can really blast this without damaging or exceeding the vibration limit on any of these points of interest. Now, if you couple that with BlastIQ, it's even more powerful
Right.
because that engineer now, based on that original design, can start getting those actuals from the field, starting with the drilling, then the loading, etc., and see how is that impacting the vibration at the end of the day by reiterating, by resubmitting those predictions and getting those results and enabling that tweaking as the drill and blast process gets to the final stage of firing the blast. So you can go fire the blast. And we have customers that have been able to increase their so-called limit of blast holes that they had traditionally to triple or even more just by using
Oh,
the
really?
system. And now they have everything also great visibility around what the science has been applied, and also again coupled with BlastIQ, it's just
I guess for the communities in that and the surrounding areas, when the mines have this ability with the technology, they can actually, it's probably good for an educational tool as well, kind of putting people more at ease because they're monitoring the blasting, the vibrations.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think being able to show that a stakeholder in the process the what the considerations are around the drill and blast design and how we are able to predict and make sure we're not incurring any damage and explain that. And yeah, it's definitely an educational tool as well.
The the other thing, I guess, going back to the customers as well again, how how does it work for them? Like you go to a new customer, what's the integration like for them to onboard like
Yeah.
a process like BlastIQ and AVM?
If we go to a site that knows
Mhm.
their site loss, we call them in the vibration world, and we're talking about ground vibration and also air over pressure. By the way,
Yep.
um,
What was the other one? Air pressure?
air over pressure.
Air over pressure.
Um, yeah, traditionally you would call that sound or noise, but it's not really noise because there are sub hearing frequencies that cause damage. Really, it's
Okay.
air vibration that might cause damage in windows or even structures sometimes. So those two things are what we kind of call vibration, but those are covered in AVM. Yeah, so assuming our the site knows their site loss and have this seed waveform study done and site loss and an understanding of the domains, in implementing AVM, it's as simple as entering those values in the system, um, creating a blast, and start predicting and
That
modeling
fast.
that fast. Now, if
Okay.
the site doesn't know, of course, and needs some help defining those site laws and coming up with that study, of course, Orica, and that's the big benefit that we have,
Mhm.
or differentiator. We have teams specialized with that, like tech services,
Mm.
that can go to a site and help run that project,
Oh, so
understand
Orica will come in. You'll actually go help them
exactly.
set it up at first.
Yeah, exactly. So we lean on our Orica technical services
Right.
team to help the customer understand their site first, and
Yeah.
then the implementation of the technology is just as smooth as. Yeah.
So, what is the process of getting technologies like BlastIQ and AVM up and running for your customers?
Yeah. Well, we have great commercial teams that are around the world working with our customers, and everything starts with our customer success program, which ensures a correct and suitable technology implementation on site. So it covers from suitability all the way down to training,
Okay.
and that's where how we leave um, technologies running in BlastIQ or Orica Digital Solutions. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And then, so you'll basically work with them going through setting up their whole site then with those teams?
Yes, if you look at a site that might want both products, for example, BlastIQ and AVM, of course, we go there, we understand their site's requirements, so we get all the software and hardware set up, all the licensing.
Okay.
To go to site, we do training, making sure everyone in the team and everyone relevant is trained on the right products and how systems work together and to get the most out of it. And after that, well, we of course have support 24/7 for them
Right.
as they get any questions or issues. But it's just key part to get that successful implementation happening.
So from what it sounds like, when you go onto these sites through this customer success program, you're basically you can be there from like for years essentially to offer that support if they need it.
Yeah. A customer success program focuses, of course, at the very beginning of the process,
Hmm.
but then the support, ongoing support, is just permanent. It comes with the product. That's what we do around the world, and 24/7, as I said, pretty much.
Excellent. I guess probably in wrap up because we covered a whole bunch of ground here on this. On the AVM itself, is that being used more and more by your customers as well?
Yes, it's very interesting. Even just by looking at the data, we can see our customers are predicting, modeling, and predicting vibration on many blasts and daily, first of all, around
Oh,
the
okay.
world.
Yeah.
And also, you can see that they are doing multiple predictions per blast, which means
Mhm.
they are working towards pushing those boundaries on those blast designs and still making sure they are meeting their vibration requirements.
Right.
So, more holes, more traditional explosives, or whatnot, just to get the best blast outcome in terms of fragmentation or movement and heave and digability, all of the good results that you want, and still meet those vibrations, which is usually that compromise that you have to deal with between blasting and vibration limits. Yeah,
So they're trying to see basically how they can optimize it and get I guess
yeah,
get the most bang for their buck.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah.
the in closing, I always like to ask, is there anything that we maybe didn't cover that you want to make sure people know? Obviously, like I said, people know Orica. They the company's been around for a long, long time. But is there any closing things that you want them to know, and also where they can find you and how they can get a hold of your team for potentially implementing something like this?
Yeah, it's I think first of all, it's that reflection on thinking about technology. I don't think it's thinking about technology, it's thinking about problems that we have, and y- from there you will find, and we are confident that as Orica Digital Solutions we have many technologies or many products that can solve those problems. First of all, we love working with our customers directly and coming up with those solutions together as well, collaborating with them closely.
Yeah.
That's something that we're proud of and has been proven to be successful. And we really believe building a product or crafting a product in that way is the best way. Not just, hey, here's a piece of technology, you figured out how to use it, but
Right.
actually
Right.
go from an traditional agile point of view, deliver a first version that covers the most ground, and then reiterate and make that better, solving the problem differently, better, making their lives easier. Again, as I said, workflows, that's super important for us.
Yeah.
And of course, our commercial teams are everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
That's part of our success as well. Kudos to them. I think they do a great job understanding those issues from the customers, and not only feeding that the right solution to them, like working with them to implement the right solution, but also feeding back any feedback from those, or just even ideas to create new products for us to deliver, and then um, make the other more customers happy around the world. So yeah, that's super exciting what we're heading to.
Yes.
We keep working on that every day, and we're super passionate about it. So I think it shows. And well, come to the booth if you're here.
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
yeah,
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining, and thank you everybody for watching Mining Now. This has been a great. I think this is already I think this is going to be the third episode that we launch with Orica. I hope I'm getting that right. But anyway, so again, we're filming Mining Now at CIM Vancouver 2024. And please subscribe to our YouTube, Crowns and Partners. Follow us on LinkedIn, Crowns and Partners and Mining Now. And also, we will have the links for Orica. Actually, Orica has all the. Is Orica Digital Solutions its own website as well? or is it just all under Orica?
No, it's under Orica.
Perfect.
Yeah, but if you
Okay.
Google Orica Digital Solutions, you get the link. That's
Fantastic.
what I do anyways.
Okay,
And
perfect.
yeah.
So we will put all those links into the description here. We'll put Pablo's LinkedIn as well, so you can find him. And yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. And until next time on Mining Now.